Over the years, I was told it was my tone when I would do the videos, like on Instagram and Facebook. It was my tone, like in the car rants in the morning. I used to call them pre-workout rants, 0 dark 30, sitting in front of 24-hour fitness. Yeah, man, it's your tone, man. It's how you be saying it, man. Everybody ain't like you. And I would be like, well, true. We're all different. But I had started realizing over the years it wasn't my tone. It was just that I haven't stopped. I didn't stop working out. I didn't stop, with my career aspirations, pursuing my education. Even in here, there's different versions of my garage gym. So when people used to tell me it was my tone, it's because I didn't stop. Now, I will say this. When I do these videos, I am coming from the perspective of, just past versions of me. I've said that. Just who I was, who I became, who I'm trying to become, what I'm trying to sustain, and things like that. But I understand those accusations of it being my tone because I remember people that I used to kind of like gravitate to for advice about certain things. And when I didn't stick to those things, instead of just taking a look inward, I would be kind of bothered by the fact that they kept going. Because it was like, man, why them and not me? So when it happens to me, man, no, I'm fully aware, but that's really not my issue like that. See, it was never a knowledge thing. For me, it was never a knowledge thing. Like I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Because if you just look around, you see somebody doing this stuff, but it was a behavioral change thing. It was an addiction thing. The alcohol was my gateway for me making my bad decisions for what I ate. I would probably have a drink. We would go out and I would spend money I didn't have. The alcohol. Sit down and eat something. Even if I was on that path to where, man, I gotta start eating better. Once I drank, game over. It wasn't a knowledge thing. Lil Mike, right? It's a funny story, right? But I remember being in elementary school, George Washington Elementary School in Compton. And we had to take a test. I forgot if it was like a math test or a spelling test or whatever. We had to take a test. And I was sitting next to this dude named Gregory Davis. Now, I'm going to tell you how I remember the name Gregory Davis. Gregory Davis, I used to copy off him. So he used to put his hand up because he knew I was copying, but I still would be able to kind of see what Gregory Davis was doing. He finished, and like a true genius back in my young age, I'm going to wait a little bit. He submit his paper, I'm going to wait a little bit because I don't want them to know I was cheating off Gregory. And then I submitted my paper. And then the teacher looked at it, called me up, Mike, come up here. And she was like, you cheating off Gregory again? And I was like, no. I copied this joker's name. I copied his name. And because I'm younger and I'm still developing as a youngster, man, she just kind of laughed. She warned me. I already knew what I needed to do in order to try to meet the outcome. I'm going to copy off Gregory in order to get whatever grades he's getting or get an A on whatever we were doing. It's like that with everything. It's like that with fitness related stuff. And actually, it's easier now for us to get the information. Because you got Google, Bing. Now you got all these AI joints that's going on. You got Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. The information is there. So it's not the fact that we don't know. So stop playing like I used to play. Goofy. So yeah, it ain't too much nowadays that you don't know or you can't find out. You know what protein is. You know what a calorie deficit is. And if you don't, you can just literally type it in your phone. What is a calorie deficit? How do I get in a calorie deficit? With the AI apps, you put in there what you eating, everything. Be honest with yourself. Put everything in there, link it to your Apple Health if you have an Apple Watch, and then just say, hey, give me my deficit. It will tell you all day, every day. The issue is, if you're like me, and I'm going to say that probably a few times during this video, if you're like me, you be lying. You be lying. Some of us be lying to our closest friends that's trying to help us. Hey man, you still drinking? Not like that. Not like I used to. But you probably are. What you eat today? I went to the gas station one time, and I'm at that point now to where one of my biggest goals was to try to stay in shape after I got out the military. I've been out the military this month, actually, 8 years. Really, it's November, but I count when I went on terminal leave, meaning you go on leave before you officially out. I ain't go back on base. So August of 2018, I was out, right? But I still see people in San Diego. I kid you not, since I got off social media, I got people that's trying to find me on LinkedIn and different emails. Man, I'm just checking in on you, see how you doing. I'm still out here trying to kill these goals, man. If you're wondering, but I'm just saying, right? I seen this guy at the gas station. And if you see me and you know anything about me, I am serious about my fitness stuff. This right here, if you know me, should not be a surprise. To some people at different pockets, it's bragging, you flexing. No, this right here should not be a surprise if you know anything about me. But if I saw this dude at the gas station and we start talking about calorie deficits, he's like, man, I'm trying to get back on there. Now, people that really want to rock with you like that and they really lean into your change, they gonna ask you. They will. So it's just like, yeah, man, I'm trying to get it, man. I'm counting everything that I'm eating. Bet. So we walk inside the little mini mart of the gas station. I'll go grab a sparkling ice. You know those sparkling ice drinks? And he grabs some type of juice or whatever. We pay for our stuff and we walk out. And it's like, all right, we about to part ways, man. I'm about to get in the truck. He about to get in his car. He about to go. He finished the juice, throw it in the trash can. I was like, bet. So you tracking everything? He said, yeah. I said, well, what was that? How many? I said, that wasn't like a sparkling ice. That's a juice. And he kind of looked confused. So I was like, hey, man, you got to see what that is. Like, how many calories are in that? He said, man, he looking around. If you know me also, you know I'm about fitness, but I'm also about that. Don't play around with me. So as soon as he reached in the trash can to get that bottle, I was like, trash digger. Because I'm immature. I'm like a child sometimes. But he gets this bottle out and he looks at it. And it was 150 calories, 2 servings in that bottle. I said, man, that's 300 calories that you didn't even account for. He looked confused. He didn't know. Some of us don't even know. And then some of us don't know and we lying. Crazy game. So some of us are 1,000 calories in a surplus and we don't even know it. And if we do know it, we lying about it. But fact is, for me, my health wasn't the priority. The trophies were. The trophies of having a fresh cut, fresh J's or Air Maxes, depending on if you're a sneakerhead, what your game is. Fresh outfit, nice car that I really couldn't afford with rims on it. That was a priority. The health was something that would pop up every once in a while when necessary. Like, man, I got to pass this fitness test for the Navy. I got to be within standards. And I wasn't. That's when it became a priority during that moment. And then when I would make sure to get that score that I wanted, then it wasn't a priority anymore. The trophies were what I needed to do. I couldn't schedule a day that I would work out, but I could tell you what I was going to do on my birthday 6 months down the line. Crazy game. And because our health isn't a priority, especially in the military setting, some of us will fumble a whole bag. This is an example of some of the messages we'll get. Meaning, at my current job, if you don't meet your fitness standards, and I think the standards have laxed, they've changed, right? I go on base, I see what I see. Then you can fumble your whole free educational bag. You can fumble a free associates. And it's even more, stringent when it comes to tuition assistance. I can tell you somebody that ROTC, I'm writing full ride scholarships to every school in San Diego State, UCSD, USD, which is like $130,000 for the bachelor's, Point Loma, Cal State San Marcos. If you didn't meet the fitness requirement, that's your whole bag. In most cases, your whole career, because if you don't actually meet the fitness requirements to get the scholarship, I can't contract you. So you might be able to potentially say if you do 20 years, this is so far thinking down the line, but if you do 20 years as an Army officer, not only could you not get a full degree, a full ride scholarship, what if you go 20 years and you make major and you retire as that? Say you get that disability bag or something like that. You are leaving a free educational ride and 6 figures just on the table because of your habits. Now, that's a far out example, but I'm just saying in general, we are fumbling the bag when it comes to our health. And because of the way social media is, it's okay. We will glamorize doing the very things that we know we shouldn't have been doing in the first place. Here's the bonus. Then we'll get mad if we see people doing what they need to do in order to get in better health. Man, I tell you, the worst thing that can ever happen is when you have somebody that's close that keeps trying to pressure you to be a worse version of yourself. Man, you changed. You right. You right, I changed because I was harming myself. And shame on you for still trying to keep me in that space, man. People, they don't understand because there's history. There's patterns. You probably got people that are close to you, and I'll quote it, because y'all looked out for each other somewhere in the past. But now when you're trying to level up and trying to stay here as long as possible, I always say we don't know how long we're going to be here, but I'm not trying to speed my way up to that finish line. So as soon as you start fixing that, it's them. It's them that's going to be like, man, here you go. On that little working out stuff again. You changed. So what happens there is, man, allow nature to take its course. They're going to keep trying to pressure you to be somebody that you know you shouldn't have been, to where they're going to raise their hand voluntarily to remove themselves from your life. That's how it works. I'm sorry. Because some of these people you're probably close with right now. But you're right. I did change. The people that I'm around. And when I do change, man, they be quick to remind me of who I was. You act like you never used to drink, then you ain't been watching these videos, because I will constantly remind you that I used to drink. I just don't know more. I don't know more. So yeah, I remember at one point, I was so, like, I would never judge anybody from drinking because I did it. I used to drink. And then there's some responsible, like, drinkers out here. Do I think I need alcohol in my life at all? No, I think it's bad. I think it's a poison. That's just my mindset when I'm speaking for me. But there's people that can drink responsibly. It's somebody that can have a rough day, have some wine, 1 glass of wine a week maybe, if that's your thing, and they be good to go. That's not what I was. That's why I don't do it. But I tell you, I used to, like, place levels of the poison on tiers. So when I first started drinking, it would be like the cheap stuff because I couldn't afford the good stuff, right? So it would be like Irk and Jerk, E&J, Paul Masson, these real cheap brandies. And then once I started drinking like Hennessy, before I moved over to vodka, I would tell people, man, I ain't drinking that stuff, man. That's that cheap brandy, man. That's that cheap dark liquor. I'm drinking Hennessy. And I would judge people if they were like a Hennessy drinker or not. It's all poison. Prove me wrong, man. I know if you're a drinker, like if you come across a video of somebody doing something that you're doing and you know they're right, your stomach might hurt a little bit. I get there. I was that. I understand that. So if you come across somebody and they'll tell you the effects of alcohol, the negative effects when it comes to your fitness, because they really don't align. Let's call it a bean. Now, how that can damage your brain long term over the years. How it takes your liver a whole year of not drinking to fully heal those scars from drinking. Their stomach's going to hurt because they're still doing it because they're addicted to it. Or they just think they have to have it in their life. It's not that I'm saying anything wrong. The science is there. You can find it. But once you realize, man, I'm doing that to myself, it hurts your stomach. It's like somebody punched you in the gut. I used to go 24-hour fitness, and there was like a group of older dudes, man. They weren't too much older than me, but they were like older. And I could tell they had the mindset of, as long as I'm working out, I can live the life that I want. And when you come across them cats, man, they try to talk you out of good habits. They try to talk you out of, just eating healthier, right? Calorie deficit. As long as they can lift and stuff like that. But it's a line that's drawn in between. So when they would see like a younger dude, the reason that person's in shape and leaner and got a six pack and stuff like that is because they're younger. Once you get our age, it ain't like that. Until I can walk into that joint. Then I'm an outlier. I'm a rare example of somebody that's leaner at 46 years old. No, it's that I'm doing the things that I know I'm supposed to do. And I stopped doing the things that I knew that was harmful to me. And you got to own it. So I know, man, we be looking, we be scrolling, trying to find the perfect information and the perfect meal plan and the perfect workout program. They do not exist. You can literally take something from everything and apply it to what it is that you're doing. But if your behavioral change is not even, you ain't even marked it to change it, right? It ain't even in place to change. We keep making it seem like it's this magic pile of information that we can use that's going to change you, when in reality, you really just got to do the basics. It's only so many times you can see somebody talk about a calorie deficit, body weight and protein, carbs, how you use them. I'm lower carb. You ain't got to be like Mike. Before you realize it's none of that. It's that stuff it works. You just got to use that stuff. And we don't. And this isn't because I know everybody. I'm just talking from the people that I talk to. They don't do it. Just like the dude that threw the juice in the trash can as a trash digger, he didn't even track 300 calories. That is normal. We don't track this stuff. I wasn't gonna put it on, I don't want to walk through there, but I drink electrolytes. When I'm out there on the stairs, I drink Element. I'm not an Element ambassador, but I have low sodium because running the stairs, so I gotta drink stuff that has sodium in it. I gotta put salt on my foods and stuff like that. It's like a double-edged sword, right? They tell you, hey man, don't have a lot of salt because it's dangerous. Mike, you need more salt. Or if not, you're gonna get these weird headaches. But Pedialyte Sport, that little pack, got like 10 carbs in it and it's 40 calories. And I used to just be dumping them joints in the water. And I'm supposed to be tracking my calories. I'm telling you, man, a lot of this stuff, we just don't track it. So when people tell you there's no magic pill, you know, one size doesn't fit all, people sometimes get offended. It ain't. You literally just got to track what it is that you eat and find some way to track what you burning, and you go from there. You look at something and you say, okay, it has this many grams of protein in it, you mark that down. You weigh your food and you say, okay, go to ChatGPT and say, hey man, how many grams of protein is 16 ounces of lean ground beef? It'll tell you. And then you write that down. So you'll know exactly what it is that you're doing. We don't want to do none of that because we'll say it's overwhelming and it's daunting, but we'll do the most when it comes to things we shouldn't be doing. And the reason that it's becoming more normal, if you just walk out in the wild in the obesity epidemic, and how it's normal now to see 300, 400, I was 300, 400, 500 pounds people, when 10 years ago you didn't see that, is because it's a numbers game. The numbers are accepted. So if you're somebody and you're not willing to change, you can't change. You told yourself that, and you see a bunch of people that haven't changed. It's a society now. It's a societal norm. Now we look at it, well, they're just like me. So you're going to get over there with your peoples. And then when you say, I don't want to do that no more, that's when they start coming after you. I'm telling you because I've been there. All this is from experience. It takes me nothing to talk about what I was. Nothing. Easy for me. Because I knew it was a problem. I knew it was a problem then when I was living in it. So when you remove yourself from that, if I'm just that one, and it's a couple of us, but if I'm at one around the people that I know, I'm not talking like close friends. I just don't rock with people like that. Like I say, once I got off of social media, some of the people that used to run their mouth the most, now they're looking for me. Hey, man, I'm just checking in. Just seeing how you doing. Why? You didn't care how I was doing when I was putting the free information to you every day. Then you would talk crap, and then when you needed something, then I'm the most inspiring person you know. Get it together. And I know this because I said I would say this a few times in this video. If you were anything like me, I wanted to do better. And it don't take these. It don't take motivational speakers or self-help books. You ever go to YouTube, Ben Lionel Scott? You're welcome. I listen to Ben Lionel Scott compilations when I'm running the stairs, man. It's just motivational words. You know, I get into that as well. But you know you want to change because your traits, your habits, your fears, your weaknesses, just how proud you are. Social media, man, that's one thing I don't miss because we will post that stuff without even knowing. It's on default. Like, oh no, right? You see the pictures when people, they kid go to school for the first day, how proud they are? And then you turn around and you say, man, health is wealth, and I'm proud of my kid, and I want to live for my kid. But here's the photo of me glamorizing the crappiest of food. Hey, y'all, they got this liquor on sale over here, right? Yeah, you can't help yourself. Damage control, right? Hey, I'm about to health is wealth. And somebody be like, well, health is wealth, but why are you eating that? Don't worry about me. Stay out my life. It's weird. It is, because our emotions, our fears, our traits, they are always expressed. We just don't be remembering that we be doing it. And we do not want people in our life that's going to call us out. I'm a horrible accountability partner because I hold myself accountable. So if we cool, I'm going to hold you accountable. But you'll have people that'll say one thing and their actions are totally different. And then be like, why you worried about it? Well, you said you was doing this. You got people on the hook that's coming to you for advice. That's why I'm just asking. You said you eating right. Health is wealth. But what you're posting does not show that. Hey, I ain't nobody. I'm just a dude that cheated on another dude's test. And I wanted to have his success so much that I copied his name. So I knew I wanted change years ago before I was able to identify the significance of certain changes in my life. That's how much I knew I wanted to change from a young age. My cheat code for my lane on what I'm trying to do for Michael J. Brantley, I'm a junior, but my dad passed away, is I got to do what I know I'm supposed to be doing. And when you do those things, no matter, how beneficial the outcome that I thought it was going to be, even if it don't line up, once you do that, the insecurity and the fear and whatever behind those things go away. I spend more time, if I'm cool with you, defending me trying to be better than me even struggling to do what it is that I know I need to do. I'm not somebody that believes you once you hit 30 and 40s that you just out of shape. The check engine light for your body comes on. I think that's bull crap. But I let them folks have it. It is not up to me to try to pull your brain out of your head and insert my mind. That's just too much. I said I'm a doctor of education, not of dentistry. I'm not pulling teeth. So if I think something's possible, I'm going to do it. And then it's up to me how I decide to use it, i.e. with my degrees. But at the same time, you are not going to tell me something's not possible for me, especially when I'm out here doing it. Then it's going to be you being bothered by the fact that I did it and we came from the same situation, or maybe I was lower. Because that's what I used to do to people. I used to see people out here making it happen, and then if I knew they came from less than me, I'm not going to pay attention to that anymore. Man, they're just built different. They're lucky. Anytime I would go up to you, must be nice. Very disrespectful. Because if you're anything like me, you had to change your whole life around in order to see some of these results. Crazy work. That's why I post these, man. That's why I'm very intentional with the shirt off joint in my gym. You can say what you want, but you got to ask yourself, right? Why I got an issue with this? Why I got an issue with this stranger I don't know? If you do. I've been receiving a lot of good comments and support, man, but the ones I know, why you got an issue with it? When somebody say they going to get up, man, they got to change their life. Because they've been living too many dang years in the wrong direction. Why you got an issue with them trying to better themselves? And we know why. Because we want them change. We want that change. We want a better physique. We want more, maybe it's entrepreneurship, more career options or opportunities. We want probably a gym at home. Man, I see fitness influencers, man, and what's going on. And there's a lot of people out here that's great. They just don't have a space. We want these changes, man. But when we don't want to apply the internal changes in order to get them, then they the problem. I'm here to tell you, once you get on the other side of your bull crap, it don't matter no more. You just get up, or I just get up and I do the things that I know I'm supposed to do every day. And after that, I just let, nature run its course. I let the cards lie where they may. Because at that point, I did my part. There's nothing that I'm doing that I'll be like, man, I wish I would have did this. Why do you think I got so many degrees? I never got to be like, man, I wish I would have got the bachelor's after I got the master's, right? Man, this might have happened, even if it didn't, if I got a doctorate. I don't feel like that no more. Because I get up and I just do the things, and I'm ambitious, and I act on those ambitions in a good way, not weird stuff. So yeah, man, that's today's vlog, man. Happy Friday. I really did this on Thursday. I'm just doing one video ahead of time to stay ahead of trying to post every day. I'm sorry if you're tired of me posting every day.